Hello everybody! Today we're going to talk about how to journal. I realize that I've been mentioning you should really journal, but I haven't told you how. It's like if a basketball coach told a player, shoot the ball and put it in the hoop. Coach, you never taught me how to shoot the ball! So we're here today to talk about how to journal. The first thing I want to share with you is that journaling is good, but it is not essential to prayer. If you don't journal, that's totally fine. You can still have a personal relationship with Jesus without it. I found it to be really helpful in my life and prayer ever since I first started doing it, and I want to share it with you. So again, it's good, not essential. When I'm journaling, I write my words in print, and then I write God's, Jesus's, or the Holy Spirit's words in cursive. I'm gonna be honest, I kind of forgot cursive when I started doing that, so it helped me learn it again. I'm gonna share with you some of my conversation with Jesus from this morning. Me. Good morning, Jesus. Beautiful day out there. I think I'm gonna make an eclair cake today. It's an no-bake cake with whipped cream, graham crackers, pudding mix, chocolate frosting. So good. Jesus says, that sounds amazing. And good morning, Tyler. How are you doing? What's new? Then I share with him how I'm doing. It takes up a lot of the page. I won't share with you because it gets kind of personal, but then I'll share with you what Jesus says afterwards. Jesus says, sounds like you have a lot going on. What are you excited about? Then I share with Jesus what I was excited about, what I'm looking forward to. I realize some of the things that I'm doing that's coming up I'm not really looking forward to, but they're good things to cross off the list. But then there's also a lot of things that I am excited for. So I shared that with him. And today there wasn't really much beyond that. Some days he'll remind me that he loves me, some days he'll ask further questions to get a better understanding, and some days we just have a short, quick conversation like you'd have with a friend in passing. These are all good because we're spending time with Jesus. To start your journaling time, greet the Lord. Say, hey Jesus, how are you doing? Today's a beautiful day. And then let yourself be greeted by him as well. He'll say, hey, and then say your name. I'm doing great. It's a beautiful day. Of course it is. I made this day. He'll also speak into your identity a little bit in that time. You might say, hey, my daughter. Hey, my son. My friend. It is great to see you. He sometimes says your full name. Sometimes he said to me, hey, Tyler McCullum, it is good to be talking with you today. So let yourself be greeted by the Lord and let him remind you who you are. There's a video on YouTube by this guy named Zach Williams. He's singing the song Chainbreaker to a group of prisoners at Harding Prison. It is absolutely amazing. In the song, the lyrics go, I'm no longer a slave to fear. I am a child of God. There were only men at this prison, and these men were realizing the truth from God, the truth of who they are. They are no longer slaves to fear, they're children of God, they are sons of God. The world has canceled these prisoners. They've said, you need to leave. There's no room for mercy or forgiveness for you, no second chances for you. But then Zach Williams comes in with this song, Chainbreaker, showing up some truth from the Lord. I recommend you watch that video, and I put the link in the description for you. The reason I bring that up is because I want to invite you to let the Lord tell you who you are when you're praying. If he says that you're his son or daughter and that he loves you, know that this is from him. And something that I've struggled with in my life is believing that intellectually, but then not letting that sink into my heart. But when you realize in your heart that you are a son or a daughter of God who is loved, it changes you. So let him tell you who you are. So after you've greeted and let the Lord greet you, you share with the Lord where you're at. Let him know what's on your heart, what's on your mind, what's upcoming, how your relationships are. Just tell him everything about you. After you've shared, the Lord might thank you for your openness, and he might ask you a few questions. He might even pry a little bit at something you're not addressing. Maybe you brought up a relationship, a dating relationship you're in, and there's major red flags, but you're trying to avoid them. He might ask you about them. You might have someone you need to forgive or someone you need to ask for forgiveness from. He might bring that up to you. Maybe you've got a sin that's become a habit and he wants to talk with you about it. Jesus will bring these things up not to nag you, but to bring about change for your better. He does all things out of love. God is love. Therefore, he wants your good. He wills your good. He wants what's best for you. He wants you to think deeply about these things that will help you live a better life and grow closer to him. Therefore, when you get questions from the Lord, know that he's asking you because he cares. Don't worry, these moments don't always come up in prayer, but sometimes they need to. Sometimes there's things in our lives we need to address, and Jesus knows that, so he brings it up at the appropriate time. The final thing I want to say about journaling is to get a good depiction of what Jesus might look at you like. Watch The Chosen, because it does a lot better than other movies and shows that I've seen on Jesus' life, but I don't think it would even come close to what Jesus was actually like, how awesome he would have been. Anyway, it's called The Chosen. It's on YouTube and The Chosen app. I encourage you to start with episode 3, because that's the one where Jesus is spending time with children. It's really helpful to see how Jesus would interact with others, how he looks at you with love, how he's patient with us, and how he speaks boldly and truth into our lives. You get to see the apostles he chose, people that were nowhere near saints before Jesus met them, people that are struggling, that are human, that are going through difficult times, struggling with sin. Jesus calls them, just as he calls you and me. So I encourage you to watch The Chosen Season 1 to see what Jesus might have looked at you like. This can help you in journaling to better picture who you're talking with. That's all I gotta say about journaling. And you can't say I'm like the basketball coach from before that said just shoot the ball in the hoop. I don't know how to shoot, you never told me. No, now we've talked about how to journal, so give it a shot. And then you can look back on your conversations with the Lord from the past. It's a win-win. Well, that's it. There's nothing more to it that I gotta say about it. Happy journaling and God bless.